Judicial Watch lead investigator. Pay attention to Obama DHS advisor Lisa Monaco, deep state link. Former Obama DHS advisor Lisa Monaco. Judicial Watch chief investigator Chief Farrell told the Lou Dobbs audience on Friday to pay attention to former Homeland Security advisor Lisa Monaco. Let's just take a listen instead of reading what they're saying. Let's hear it. This is the first time I heard of it.
I'm David Asman in for Lou Dobbs. House Republicans want to know what the Obama administration knew and when it knew it about the bogus Trump dossier. Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio and Mark Meadows of North Carolina say they have launched a probe into the prior administration's involvement with a document that was eventually used to justify surveillance of Trump campaign aide Carter Page and God knows what else. The House Intel Committee earlier this week launched phase 2 of its investigation into FISA abuses. Joining me now is Chris Farrell, Director of Investigations and Research for Judicial Watch. Well, Chris, today we had this expanded Manafort indictment. We had a plea copped by Manafort's assistant Gates. And it seems to me, I mean, granted, these are serious charges, but these are molehills compared to the mountain, which is the big question of whether the FBI Justice Department used the Trump dossier to spy on a political campaign.
You're right, and everything that's transpired with respect to Manafort and Gates has nothing to do with the Trump campaign. So, like you said, serious charges, and we'll see what happens, but they can't drag it back to Trump. And frankly, if you looked at the 6 to 8 other American political consultants operating in Ukraine at the same time, it might be interesting to examine their finances and their activities.
Well, I assume you're talking there, well, at least one person is Tony Podesta, the big Democratic operative, brother of John Podesta, who ran the Hillary campaign. He was involved in Ukraine with the Manafort.
Up to his neck, along with other people like Devine, Allah. Yeah. All these big names have all had dealings with Ukraine and political shenanigans.
They're not Republicans, they're Democrats. Maybe that has something to do with it. By the way, you may see, I mean, my own suspicion is that Mueller, just to prove that he's fair-minded or whatever, he's going to throw in an indictment of a Democrat. Maybe Tony Podesta, who knows? I don't have any inside information on that. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to say, you know, if you want to really focus on Obama administration targeting of the Trump campaign, the transition, and the administration, I think people should set their sights on Lisa Monaco. She was the Trump administration Homeland Security Director, and she appears in the notes and calendar of Andy McCabe in May of 2016. And if you note back a couple of weeks, you remember that there's a text from Page saying that, you know, Andy McCabe and Strzok, her friend or boyfriend, that the White House wanted to know everything that they were doing. And so you see this contact in May, and then in August you see that the counterintelligence investigation that's opened on the Trump campaign gets a nickname. They call it Latitude, and it's tied back apparently to Lisa Monaco, who to date has escaped really any media inquiry or scrutiny. So I think folks should take a long, hard look at the contact point between this McCabe, Strzok, Page secret society, as they refer to themselves, right, and who in the White House was managing that. And it appears, it's likely that it's Lisa Monaco.
Interesting. And then there's also the case of Senator McCain's assistant or aide, David Kramer. He pled the Fifth in front of the Intel Committee, and the point here is that a lot of people wanted to keep Donald Trump out of the White House. Some were Democrat, most were Democrats. Some were Republicans, like Senator McCain and his aides. Right. And they used all the power they had to do that. And sometimes the question is, and this is a good question for Mr. Mueller, did they ever go over the legal line in using the power that they had to influence their opinion?
And David, just one last point when you mentioned Mr. Mueller. Guess what Lisa Monaco's job was at the Justice Department?
Tell us.
She was the chief of staff to then FBI Director Mueller.
And there does seem to be, I know people blanch at this phrase, but there is this group of established bureaucrats who are scared to death of the idea of somebody like Donald Trump coming in and shaking up the system as he has been doing.
Yeah, they're self-anointed protectors. You know, they know better. Heaven forfend that the voting population elects someone that they haven't approved of.
Right. And again, some were Democrats. Probably most were Democrats. Some were Republicans, but they were all part of the establishment that Trump came to town to end. Chris Farrell, good to see you, my friend. I hope you get some more information for us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, David. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
That's very interesting that she worked for Mueller. So what does that tell you? The corruption runs deep. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.